Welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Hello and welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast. My name is May and today I'm joined by my co-host Ben. And it's great to have you join us for this episode.
Yes, hello listeners. Hello Maddie. Welcome to episode 177. Apologies, it is a little bit late. We've had a number of things happen, not least a possible tropical cyclone coming our way, but it is great to have you join us. And Maddie, another unfortunate, disappointing result for the men's team in midweek.
It was, as they were held to the draw at Forrest.
And really making it all the more harder if you are to have any chance or hope of getting close to Liverpool at the top of the table. But as you know, it's not over until it's over.
And it's not. And then in part two.
Well, we're going to cover off on all our women's team players who are going to be returning from international duty for their countries. We'll also celebrate no less than 3 awards for some of our players. And finally, a disappointing exit for our academy boys in their FA Youth Cup quarterfinals. But before we get to all of that, a quick reminder to follow, like and subscribe so we can keep growing our Arsenal Kids community.
We would love for you to join us on this adventure together.
We would indeed. And Maddie, straight into the game review for the men's team who headed to the City Ground in the middle of last week now to face Nottingham Forrest in what was a top of the table clash with us in second and them in third place.
And within 3 minutes, both teams had picked up a booking.
Yes, we had Riccardo Calafiore given a yellow card after he tugged back their attacker, and they had a player yellow carded for delaying the restart, an offence that most Arsenal players and fans have become familiar with this season. But after that, the game settled down as both teams had opportunities, and in that opening 20 minutes, we arguably were putting the more pressure on, but we were not working their keeper.
And that led to us in the midway point of the first half hitting the woodwork.
Yes, Riccardo Calafiore took a shot after he had broken into the area, chopped past his defender onto his right foot, and his shot looked to be destined for the bottom corner, only for it to smack against the post and into the grateful arms of their keeper. And that was about the closest either of the sides came to scoring in that first half.
At the start of the second half, Arteta made a change, and the chances started coming.
Yes, with Calafiore on that yellow card, Arteta decided to bring on Kieran Tierney for the second half, and just 5 minutes in, we had a chance with Marino heading goalwards from a Declan Rice corner, but the keeper got to it. We also had Tierney head one just wide at the near post, but despite all of the attacking threat coming from the Gunners, Saliba still had to get back to make a last-ditch effort to keep the scores level. And despite an Odegaard shot being cleared off the line, that was about that, with both teams having to settle for a goalless draw on this occasion.
And next up for the team, Ben?
Well, Maddie, as we have already been knocked out of the FA Cup, which took place on the weekend, the men's team have a weekend off before they head into the first leg of the Champions League round of 16 tie, away to PSV Eindhoven in the middle of the week before back to Premier League action on the weekend, away to Manchester United.
Well, let's leave it there for part 1, and we will be right back with part number 2 after this. Welcome back. And Ben, how have our women's team players gone while they have been on international duty?
Great question, Maddie. Let's check in on them, shall we? And look, it has been a big international break for the squad, but Beth Mead, Lotta Wubben-Moy, Lena Hurtig, Rosa Kafaji were not part of their squads due to injury. Amanda Illerstedt was not selected for Sweden, and Kim Little has already retired from international duty.
But there were some Gunners who increased their caps and started states for the countries.
Yeah, starting with Alessia Russo, who was on target for England as they drew 1-1 with Portugal. Mariona Caldentey bagged an assist as Spain defeated Belgium, and Stina Blackstenius also assisted in Sweden's 2-1 win over Denmark. Michelle Adjemang also got a brace for the young England under-23 side with a clean sheet for Manuela Zinsberger as Austria defeated Scotland 1-0.
And is that all?
Well, Maddie, that is all for the clean sheets, assists and goals, but definitely not for the appearances. We had Frida Mornham, Leah Volti, Daphne Van Domselaar, Manuela Zinsberger, Laura Weinreuter, Leah Williamson, Alessia Russo, Mariona Caldentey, Chloe Kelly, Emily Fox, Jenna Niswanger, Steph Catley, Kyra Cooney-Cross, Caitlin Ford, Taya Goldley, Katie Reid, Michelle Adjumang, Layla Harbert, Viviana Leah, Stina Blackstenius, Katie McCabe, and I think that is just about all the players that were involved in various ways and stages for their countries. It's been some good minutes for some of our fringe players, perhaps a few many minutes for some of our regular starters. I'm thinking specifically of our Matildas and USA internationals who played 3 games during the international break. So let's hope it doesn't affect our team's performance when the ladies all return prior to the Women's Super League game against West Ham on the weekend.
Let's hope not. What about awards, Ben? You said we had 3 players win awards.
Yes, 3, Maddie, that's right. And let's start with David Raya, our men's team first choice goalkeeper. He's been named the best goalkeeper at the 2025 London Football Awards. Since last year's awards, our shot stopper, he's made headlines with 2 penalty saves in our Champions League round of 16 win over Porto. He kept 6 consecutive clean sheets in the Premier League, and he won the Golden Glove Award for the Premier League at the end of the season, meaning that he was also included in the PFA Premier League Team of the Year. While we've had a number of players nominated for other awards from both our men's and women's team, David was our only winner on this occasion.
And our women's team head coach has been named Manager of the Month.
Yes, Renee Slegers has won the Barclays Women's Super League Manager of the Month award for February. Our head coach led us to 2 wins during the month, the dramatic 4-3 victory away to Manchester City and the 5-0 thumping of Spurs. It's the second time Renee has won the award already during her time as head coach of the Gunners.
Well done, Renee. And our last award is for the WSL Player of the Month.
And the winner is Mariona Caldentey, who has won the monthly award for her first time. And in a cute touch, I think, by the club, the award was presented to her at the Shoba Realty Training Centre by members of the Under-9s Arsenal in the community team. Mariona was recognised for her fantastic performances in our squad's 2 WSL fixtures this month, scoring in the opening minute against Manchester City and during our 5-0 drumming of Tottenham. Our number 8 also picked up the Player of the Match trophy for her performance in the thrilling 4-3 win against City. Great work, Mariona.
And finally, Ben, our boys' youth team have been knocked out of the FA Youth Cup.
Yes, Maddie, despite giving it their best, we exited the FA Youth Cup at the quarterfinal stage with a narrow 3-2 defeat to Manchester United after extra time. It was honours even after a tight first half in which Lewis Copley scored a lovely chip to equalise for Adam Birchall's side after Jack Fletcher had put United in front. And then Max Dowman, who was clearly the best player on the night, won and then scored a penalty 10 minutes into the second half, but we were denied victory by a late goal from Jaden Camerson. We made the stronger start to extra time, but Bendito Mentado's goal on the counter-attack settled the tie for the Red Devils on this occasion. It means that the side are now going to turn their attention back to the Under-18s Premier League South with their next game a derby against Tottenham on March 8th.
Well, let's wrap it up for this episode. Thanks again for joining us at Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Before we sign off, we want to express our gratitude for your continued support. If you haven't already, please follow, like, and subscribe so you don't miss us in the future. Remember, your love for the beautiful game is what fuels our passion.
And we would love for you to spread the word about Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Yes, please share our podcast with other Arsenal kids you know and help us to grow this amazing community together.
We hope to join you back on the pitch again soon.
Keep the spirit of the game alive, and until next time.
Goodbye.